wonderful people of the internet. It's time for some more delicious dinners here at Simply Healthy Living. Remember to hit subscribe if you want more recipes like this, and leave me a comment if you have any questions or thoughts. Earlier this fall, when the restrictions in Oslo weren't so bad and it was cool to have friends over, I had a very small dinner party. To treat them, I decided I would make something a bit special. It takes some extra time, but it's definitely worth it for the flavor while still being healthy and packed with nutrients. What am I talking about here? Well, I've tested out a healthier vegan spin on the steam buns I've tried at various Asian fusion restaurants here in Oslo. Because who doesn't love steam buns? I mean, those fluffy pillows of wonder brighten up anyone's day. Using Asian sauces and spices also offers up more of a kick than more traditional Scandinavian dishes, which is a much needed burst of color and life in these dark times. As you may have noticed from my previous voiceovers, I'm kind of vulnerable to seasonal depressive symptoms. Anyway, so if you also crave something tasty, yummy, and decadent, I give you healthy loaded baos. For this recipe, you will need the following ingredients. See the video description below for the full list with measurements. Start by taking your aubergines, slicing them in half like so, and oiling them a little before laying them out on a baking sheet. Eggplant is low on fats and carbs, but it actually still has some protein and plenty of fiber. Then stab them repeatedly with a fork. Die! When that's done, pop them in a 200 degrees Celsius or 392 degrees Fahrenheit oven for 20 minutes. While that's cooking, get your mushrooms out and clean them before slicing them up. These are what I think are called cremini mushrooms, but small champignons work as well. As with eggplant, the mushrooms are low on calories, but it still has minerals and some fiber. Then we prep our carrot, peeling and shredding finely before setting aside. Now we make our mushroom marinade. Marinating the mushrooms and eggplant really lifts this into super decadent feel territory. And for the marinade, we are grating some fresh ginger before adding in a bit of hoisin sauce, oyster sauce, garlic powder, pepper, sambal oelek or simul chili paste, some sesame oil and sesame seeds. Massage that into the mushrooms, then set aside. Next step is to make the marinade for the eggplant. For this, we are starting with 3 tablespoons of soy sauce, 3 tablespoons of maple syrup, 1 tablespoon of sesame seeds, 1 teaspoon shredded ginger, and 1 teaspoon cornstarch. And if it looks too thick, you can add 2 tablespoons of water. Mix together and then set aside because our eggplants are ready to come out of the oven. Once they're out, remove them to a bowl and replace them with our marinated mushrooms for a stint in a 200 degrees Celsius oven for 15 minutes or until they look juicy and smell heavenly. While that's happening, pop a lid on top of your eggplants in the bowl they're in for about 5 minutes to allow them to soften and separate from the skin a bit. While we wait for them, we can begin with our lovely side dishes. As in most steam buns, the side dishes really make the party here. And today we are making pickled red onion. As with the other members of the onion family, red onion contains plenty of fiber and antioxidants, so it's a super addition to this dish. For that, we slice up a red onion in thin slices and add to a bowl together with 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, a 1/4 cup water, and 2 tablespoons of sugar. This we mix and mash a bit into the oven before setting aside. Now, I apparently forgot to film the process of shredding the eggplant and adding into the marinade to mix, but that's our next step. Spoon and pull the eggplant from the skin into acceptable shredded pieces and then mix into the marinade. When you've done that, remove the tray from the oven and check on your mushrooms. Mine weren't quite done. Before spreading out of the marinated eggplant on the tray for a second round of baking, this time in the same temperature oven, but this time for 15 minutes. While we wait for the eggplant and the mushrooms, we finalize the last toppings. Coriander, roughly chopped. Then is the buns, which we steam in a casserole for about 5 minutes. And here, if you don't have a dedicated steamer, just use a colander. It should work just as well. For crunch and color, we are then quickly frying a mix of kale, red cabbage, and julienne carrots and beetroots until tender but still crunchy. Ooh, steamy. This mix of vegetables will give you some vitamin A, E, K, and C, as well as plenty of minerals and fiber. The final treat going into these buns are avocado slices, so slice up your avocado and plate it. Avocado adds unsaturated fats and other goodies to this flavor party, but make sure that you get yours from an ethically sustainable source. And now the eggplant is coming out of the oven for the final touch. 3 tablespoons of hoisin sauce for extra stickiness. I'm also removing the mushrooms from their form as they collected too many juices, because you don't want it too runny. Then it's back in the oven for about 2 or 3 minutes, or until sticky and gooey and yummy. While we wait for this to happen, we can begin plating, setting our steam buns up in a suitable basket. Then it's the fried kale mix. Into a bowl you go, some shredded raw carrot and avocado slices, the pickled red onion, and then I also had some leftover broccoli, so I'm adding that to the spread as well. Look at all those colors! You gotta love health food. Then we remove our eggplant and mushrooms from the oven and plate them together with all the other goodies. Yummy, yummy! And that's it! We're done and finally ready to eat, and I'm so excited. As for the flavor, well, let's just say that there was enough oohing and mming around the table to make me sure that this was YouTube worthy. So get cooking, enjoy, and take care!